Today on Joe's Geek Show, we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. What's going on and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And before we get started, if you're new and like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and sharing. And with that, we are going to talk about the brand new animated Mortal Kombat movie. Mortal Kombat Legends Battle for the Realms is a 2021 animated movie and is a sequel to the previous Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. If you want to know my thoughts on that movie specifically, click the card that's about to appear right here. And much like how that movie was a retelling of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, this one seeks to do a retelling of the second Mortal Kombat tournament. The one where Shao Kahn makes one last desperate attempt to win over Earthrealm because, the guy just doesn't want to wait another 1,000 years for another Mortal Kombat tournament. So he makes a deal with Raiden, they make a deal with the Elder Gods, and our Earthrealm warriors now have to travel to Outworld to battle Shao Kahn's forces. And also, much like the previous movie, there's this whole thing going on with its A story and its B story. With the A story being about the Mortal Kombat tournament, and the B story being about Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Well, Kuai Liang Sub-Zero, aka Bi-Han's brother, the first Sub-Zero, because Scorpion in the previous movie killed Bi-Han. So now Kuai Liang wants to kill Scorpion, at least until these two are forced to work together because the evil fallen elder god known as Shinnok, he's trying to get all of the Kamidogu so he can release this godlike figure called the One Being, who's essentially supposed to just destroy all of the realms. And on the other side of that, you also have Sub-Zero's clan, the Lin Kuei, that's also trying to hunt Scorpion, but the Grandmaster had turned a few of Sub-Zero's friends, aka Smoke, Sector, and Cyrax, into their android robotic forms. So while Sub-Zero's trying to kill Scorpion at first, he's also trying to make sure that the androids do not kill Scorpion before he can, and also trying to avoid the cyborgs himself. Oh boy, there's a lot packed into this movie, especially since this movie is only about an hour 20 minutes. And that was one of the complaints I did have about the first movie, where the movie wanted to be a Scorpion movie, but also wanted to be a retelling of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, and then after an undisclosed amount of time decided it wants to be a Scorpion movie again. And I was worried this one was also gonna kind of be like that, but I was actually pleasantly surprised that this movie was a lot better paced. Because instead of making a Scorpion movie and trying to interject the first Mortal Kombat tournament into it, the film instead decides to minimize Scorpion and Sub-Zero's part of the story and focus a lot more on the Mortal Kombat tournament until the end of the film. And I kind of dug that, because even though we did get some of those Scorpion Sub-Zero scenes, intercut with the tournament itself, I never felt like it was overtaking the movie in any way. Because I am primarily here for that tournament, for those fights. And let me tell you, a lot of these fights are super brutal, and I love it. Especially during the second day of the tournament, which was very interesting, because this is where a lot of the characters start to get killed off. But I will say there were definitely moments in some of these fights where I was kind of like, okay, they're obviously keeping some of the characters alive because the plot needs them, while they're killing off other characters because it's like, okay, they serve their purpose to the story. For one, when it came to, say, the first fight between Johnny Cage and D'Vorah, Johnny Cage, he is just outmatched. He's outclassed in every way. There's absolutely no way that he's going to win this fight. And for a second, I was like, okay, well, this is Mortal Kombat. Is it possible Johnny Cage is gonna die? But then he just kind of gets knocked back. Not even knocked out. He just, gets knocked back, and then Shao Kahn declares that's the end of the match. Which was weird, because he still was capable of fighting. And again, there are a few sequences like that, where I'm just like, you declared the end of a match while the other person is still breathing. You don't have to kill a person in Mortal Kombat, but if they're not at least knocked out and can fight and move, I would think that the battle could continue. Especially when it came to Shao Kahn, because he wasn't really a final boss per se. He was involved with the tournament, so there wasn't really a ladder match or anything like that. And for the most part, whenever he fought a character, he wrecked him. Especially when he fought Raiden in this movie, because Raiden decided to relinquish his status as a god in order to compete in the Mortal Kombat tournament. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense that Shao Kahn would just completely brutalize him once he had the upper hand. But even before that, he just completely annihilated Kung Lao in their fight. Yet when he fought Sonya in the movie, he had her down, but he decided not to kill her. And so the only thing I'm left with is certain characters are being left alive for plot convenience, which did kind of bug me because I think there are organic ways to ensure that a certain character would live while still losing their fight. And then there was kind of like the conditions for victory, which I thought was really interesting because after Shao Kahn did kill Raiden and won the fight, he declared the tournament over and that he won. But then Liu Kang jumps in and it's just like, no, I'm just gonna straight up attack, this thing is still going. Because again, there's really no bracket system, there were no real rules laid out for how many wins each side needed to have, because clearly it wasn't just as simple as kill everybody on the other side. So the movie is a bit unclear in these departments. And then we do get to the end of the tournament and it's like, okay, everything's cool, great, the Elder Gods come down, it's like, hey, congratulations for winning the Mortal Kombat tournament. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this is probably gonna be the end of the movie just about. Oh, but right, the Scorpion Sub-Zero subplot still going on, and the bad guys, aka Shinnok, did get the final Kamidogu and did release the One Being. And instead of making a third movie about that particular story, we're just going to spend the last 10 minutes of the movie going through that. Because the realms are now starting to merge, the Elder Gods give Liu Kang pretty much all of their power. He becomes a giant glowy person and goes to fight the One Being, while at the same time the other combatants remaining on the good side, they're like spreading out, they're trying to protect people. And this is kind of where in the movie I'm like, you know what, it's cool, but it's clearly there for one purpose, and that's to pad out the runtime. Because realistically, if you just take out all of the Scorpion Sub-Zero scenes, take out the ending, and just cut it right after Liu Kang wins the tournament, I mean, that right there is a complete story. Everything else is just additional. You don't need it. That's why I thought they were really setting it up for a third one, but nah, they got some more action scenes. I mean, at least the Elder Gods gave Liu Kang some power, and hey, he goes animality in this scene. Yep, just turns into a giant dragon and just starts fighting this big glowy dude with horns. And of course, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they gotta fulfill their meaning to the story, which is they help Liu Kang defeat the One Being. Realms are then separated, happy endings, it's over. And there was definitely a lot that I liked about this movie. For one, I like a lot of the fight scenes. I love the violence, I love the gore. This movie is also packed with tons of fan service, using characters like Devora from Mortal Kombat 10, you've got Li Mei from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Pretty much all the backgrounds are ripped straight from the video games. Jax turned into a double-armed Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, and Johnny Cage is freaking hilarious in this movie once again. And yeah, the only real negatives that I had with the movie was, although yes, it's paced better than the previous film, Scorpion and Sub-Zero scenes, while cool, still feel like they're just trying to fluff up the movie. Now I'm curious, what did you think about Mortal Kombat Battle of the Realms if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you not? Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these two videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.